So as you can see, this clip here is completely locked into the clips. You could have an excellent caliper pin lubricant here, but if the pads start to corrode in the clips, the brakes then effectively seize, and as you can see, kind of no way to, that's not coming out. So bear in mind that when your caliper is pushing on this brake, it's trying to force it against the disc to stop, and it stands to reason if it's taking me this much force to move it that way, it's going to be taking a similar amount of force going to push the pad against the disc in that direction, which means most of your braking force is used in moving this pad, which is why having a lubricant at the end of these pads is crucial. Not only that, but the pads, they mustn't be super tight. When you put them in, you're bashing them in and you think, oh great, they're in nice and snug. They may well be in too snug, and with a small amount of corrosion will then effectively seize your brake caliper. People think that this is the culprit very often, the caliper pin, which can be, but in my experience it's the pad seizing in the clips like this, which then stop the pad moving against the disc. You end up with brake drop. Okay, so I put these new pads in. I tend to file them down a bit at the end so that they're sitting sort of loose in there and they've got a little bit of movement, and they're not too tight. Otherwise, this relatively small amount of corrosion they'll seize. And then put some Pro Slip brake. What is that? Pro Slip brake clip. It is a product which protects the ends of the brake pads. It stops them corroding. Plus, it's got a dry lubricant. In other words, when the base grease has disappeared from heat, you'll still have some dry lubricant sitting there, which should keep the pads moving in the clips and stop them corroding. Okay, so that was an answer to a number of questions about what is the point of using Pro Slip clip at the end of brake pads. Thank you.